So, All the Light We Cannot See is a historical fiction novel set during World War II.
3, 2, 1. Hi, my name is Tan, and this is the another installment of the International English Cafe. Uh, Today is Friday evening in the Western Hemisphere, Saturday morning in the Eastern Hemisphere. Today's topic is reading, or basically will be kind of a series that I'm going to do called Leisure or Leisure. The idea to this is we're going to talk about certain leisure and or hobbies type of activities. Um, this is mainly due to my current situation where I'm a little bit more busier at work. So we'll just take some time to do do things in leisure, right? So in this case, book reading will be today's topic. The format of this meeting will be like you're in class and you're presenting a book report in front of the whole class. So that will be more of the mentality of today's meeting. So hopefully all of the members have prepared some kind of book. And as a cheat, if you have not read a book, then think about a movie that is based off of a book, because then talking about it, that will still be close enough as if you have talked about the book. Um, Technically, that's one of the cheats that a lot of students would do back in the day when they have not read the book for something. They would just watch the movie instead and then use the movie to talk about. Um, if if anything, there's also you can use Google, you can use ChatGPT, you can use any search engine and AI to help you talk about it, so long as you're the one talking. So it can write up all the scripts that you want for you to say, but so long as you're talking, that's fine. So even that is all.
Sorry.
Nope, it's okay. Okay, so with that, we'll get things started. So, would anybody like to start off with talking about a book?
Yes, I would like to go first.
Okay, go ahead, Abigail.
Okay. So, today I'm gonna talk about All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It is one of my favorite books. And so All the Light We Cannot See is a historical fiction novel set during World War II. It follows two young
Mhm.
protagonists whose lives gradually intersect amid the chaos of war. So we have Marie-Laure. She's a blind French girl who flees to Paris, who flees Paris with her father after the Nazi occupation, and Warner, a gifted German orphan with a talent for engineering and radios, who is recruited into the German military.
Mhm.
So, as Marie Laure seeks safety in the walled coastal city of Saint Malo, Warner becomes increasingly conflicted about his role in the war. Their parallel journeys explore survival, morality, human connection, and the choices people make under extreme circumstances. So this book is rich in imagery and emotional depth. The novel highlights both the brutality of war and the quiet resilience of hope, kindness, and humanity. And there is a last paragraph. I don't want to read it anymore, but actually, there is a Netflix miniseries from this book, and I think that my interest for the French language and the overall French culture just became stronger after I read this book. It's really beautiful and romantic, um, you know, in my opinion. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. So, Abigail had provided kind of a summary slash synopsis of the book. Um, you can visualize what happened because basically happened in World War II, and you kind of have two different characters of or basically opposing sides, right? One was on the French side, one was on the German side. Um, Pretty nice. You can kind of see a little bit of their backstory, right? And um, kind of like what makes up that character. That's very good. And adding a little bit of commentary at the end, that's very nice. So like that's in a sense kind of like what we would be looking for kind of like performing a book report, right? Like at least in essence talking about like the summary of the book and then your thoughts. Um, so the summary can go into a lot of depth if you like or if you so wish it. Um, Although you don't have to go into too much depth so long as at least you explain enough what happened. So pretty good job.
Uh, Sorry, Femi, can you type me the name of that book?
Oh no, it's Abigail.
No, me.
Yeah, yeah. So Abigail, can you type the name of the book in the into the chat?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Sounds good. Okay. Um, would anybody like to go next?
Mm, Me?
Sure, you can go next.
Okay. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just a morning in Vietnam. This is the first time I joined this group like this. So nice to meet you guys. So even especially thank you, Thành Tích, right? You so
Yep.
create a very necessary environment for us. Uh, so thank you so much. So I'll start our presentation. So I when I was a kid, I don't realize the importance of the book. So when I grow up day by day, I realize the importance of the book. So that is the reason why I try to read book every day. Not too much every day, but just one, two page or something every day like this. So one of among of them, I suggest a book named Power of the Geography. Um, this is the book talk about the power of the geography. They mention many nation with many different kind of geography. So the author argued that geography define the limits of the politics and the power. So, um, just Australia just is between the between Israel with the China and the USA or something. Uh, and moreover, you can see the geography of the Australia just almost um, almost off their land. People cannot live because the atmosphere or something is not suitable for living. So you can if you can search more information about this country, you can understand this. So uh, the book mentioned about many nations. So I just suggest Australia or something like this. Um, just mention about the geography for every nation. If uh, if a nation can develop fast or can be stronger than the other country, they have their own geography. Um, I don't mention that geography is the most important, but uh, geography just is the um part of something to make the your country stronger. So thank you so much.
Sounds good. So yeah, like this delves into this, I guess, geopolitics, and that how the maps are drawn, right? Like the geography of that kind of is either a reflection and or kind of like an insistence of the powers that may be, or the powers that are involved, right? So you can kind of see this with how some things are named. For example, South China Sea, where previously it was called Champa Sea, right? Or how Donald Trump is trying to call the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America, right?
Yeah, that's a
So there's a whole bunch of things like that, right? Um,
yeah,
you'll find this to be quite interesting in terms of geography being used as a way to either reflect the powers of nations or could be something that is how certain nations will try to push their powers. Um,
yeah.
something to that respect. So very nice book. If you can type in the name of that book into the chat, and yeah, pretty good job.
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Sorry for that little delay. Hi, Diana. You would like to go next?
Hi, then, yes, if you don't mind. Yeah, and first of all, thank you so much for giving me the the opportunity to take part of this, I could say, this challenge. And about the reading book, of course, honestly, I'm not into reading, to be honest.
Yep.
But yes, I have read some books. But if you ask me to explain or to tell about the synopsis of those books, probably it's quite hard for me, especially in English. But yes, if I could say one book that I have read, the title is Ikigai. Ikigai is one of the bestseller books that I don't know, but most people have read it probably. And why I was really like to read this book to explain you that the book is the book was kind of how to say, like important books to know about many things about the life, especially how to be long life, I think. Yeah, and the people of Japan believe that everyone has an ikigai. I don't know how to explain that, but ikigai means that a reason to to wake up and jump out from your bed, from your bed each morning, I think. Yeah, the reason how we deserve to wake up and to do something every morning, that means ikigai. Yeah, I think the short meaning actually. Again, I'm not good in explaining about the things, but I just want to share. This book will give you the life-changing tools to uncover your personal ikigai. That I means, like that I said before, ikigai means the reason you wake up every morning. Yeah. So the point is, I would like to say, probably because I'm getting older, so I really like to be in a long life, to have a longevity, something like that. So how people, especially from Japan people, see the life, they don't want to make such kind of a, how to say, like a luxury things, but they want to be in a calm, in a serene, and enjoy their life, something like that. So from this book, I know how to do a simple life in your surrounding, in your environment, and no need to rush, something like that. So what you have to eat, I think, I think this is a good book to inspire us, to have a longevity, as I said before. Yeah, and more than that thing, I don't know, we might know that Japan people is one of the community that has longevity. I don't know what exactly age they have. Probably average more than 80 years, in life. So I think probably that we want to be live long. I suggest this book to be read. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very nice. I've heard of this book from various other persons, especially from you from a previous meeting. So great book. I would like to at some point find this book myself to read, because it seems like it speaks to a lot of this idea of moderation and sufficientness, I guess, right? So not to worry about excess, right? Not to like have things that are over, but having this sense of contentment, right? Which kind of serves the point of like, the reason to wake up. So very nice. This is definitely an inspiring book, especially with how the world is. Everything is pretty chaotic. So it's nice to be able to have this sense of earthbound or basic groundedness, right? So very nice book. If you can, type in the title of that book into the chat. But overall, very nice job. Okay, so next up, would anybody like to go next about a book that they have read?
Okay, I can go.
Okay, yep, take it away, Matt, right?
If you
So,
can, I can't. I just remember, a book I read maybe more than 15 years. So relate to my specialist in working as well.
sure, you can talk
That I
about that.
call lean manufacturer
Sure.
book. That helped me to improve in my workplace a lot,
Okay.
and I know how I can improve. I know how I can save in for the company, how I can make more efficiency
Mm-hmm.
in every process. Yeah. Okay, I can tell a little bit about the lean manufacturing book
Okay.
that I learned a lot from my career when I was working for the company. Normally, I will research the book related to my specialist. I think that will help me to get more knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
and I have to achieve the goal from my talks to gave me help to achieve. If am not active with that goal, and I may get a fire after that, but I don't know exactly short or long time in advance. But I think it's so seriously. I need to get more knowledge and contribute for the company and achieve the goals, from my boss as well. And the lean manufacturing book is show me the way how I can find out the short way to produce any product in the production side. And I know how we can save money, how we know say the process look like one is very long process. And if we get that knowledge, we know how way we can cut up the long process to be very short. And we know how exactly we can use a little bit of manpower, not to expand very much manpower compared to the last one. And I know exactly we can produce on-time delivery for customer. And we know exactly the way we can make the customer happiness because everything active, on time delivery, and also high quality as well. And that I would say a little bit about the lean manufacturing book. And
Okay.
Japanese, they call that Kaizen book, not
There you go.
manufacturing. Kaizen, yeah. Thank you very much. I can talk that a little bit because I just remember minutes ago. Yeah.
That's good. I think this is a better book report that you've told instead of the first one because at least there's a book that you can reference and just note that like it doesn't actually have to be like a storybook, right? You can use any book, even a textbook. So basically, you talked about Kaizen, you talked about lean, you talked about continuous improvement, right? So there's an aspect of process engineering, right? There's a process of being able to sort, sustain, shine. There's a whole bunch of other ones for the like 6S, right? So overall, just delving into that world of continuous improvement, right? So this is like kind of close enough to like Six Sigma almost, but this is specific to your previous company. So very good job. If you can type in the title of that book into the chat box, but I uh, I like this better. It's different from everybody else's because it's more like a textbook, but that's okay because that's still technically a book, and there's something worthwhile in that. Like, you know, it's nonfiction, and it's something that you can use as a WSI, right? A worksheet instruction, or in a sense, it's like standard work almost, right? So pretty good. There you go. Okay, so
Thank you.
yeah, thank you. So would anybody like to go? Anybody?
Me.
Okay, so take it away, Miss Permatasari. I don't know.
Just Femy, it's okay.
Yep.
Thank you, Tan. Okay. I really like reading books. Really like. And when I was little, I really like reading books about folk tales and dinosaurs, of course. But when I grew up, there was one book that really made an impression on me. When I went to the bookstore, I only intended to buy psychology book. Anyway, I graduated from psychology, so that's why I'm looking for that book. And suddenly I found this book. The book's title is Reason to Stay Alive by Matt Haig. Is it right? Matt Haig? Matt Haig?
Sounds about right.
Okay. The book is about the authors survive from depression and mental illness or anxiety. Okay. From this book, more talking about mental illness is real and invisible. So, you cannot see physical symptoms from mental illness like that. And I learned much. I learned more that, and it's okay to be kind to yourself, and it's okay to accept it that someday will be harder than others. It's okay to take life minute by minute or day by day. We don't compete with anyone like that. Just focus on the present moment. That's all. Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah. When it comes to psychology, and especially when it comes to this particular topic, you know, sometimes life can be very harsh. And,
Yeah.
you know, like for us to be even more harsh on ourselves on top of that, sometimes we should allow ourselves some leeway, right? And also to understand that we have our own pace in how we live
Yes.
our life. So sometimes to take it second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, as you said. So, this is very inspiring and very encouraging to know that, you don't have to just rage quit. There's always another way. So, just allow yourself to open yourself up to that. But very nice. Okay. If you can too, like I typed the title of that book into the chat box, but very good job. Hey, Mohamed, would you like to go?
Well, yeah, sure, but let me say this first because I came unprepared. So I'm gonna talk about a book that allowed me to quit smoking,
Sounds
and
good.
the book is called Atomic Habits by James Clear.
Ooh.
I don't think I can elaborate too much on that because I haven't read the whole book. But the parts that I read allowed me to quit smoking last year. I really like self-development books. Why? Because they kind of um, help me to stay grounded when things get tough, you know. And yeah, this, especially the book that allowed me to quit smoking. It's a really great book to like to build a good habit and quit the bad ones. But you have to be someone who's really who does things by the book, like really follow the rules. Otherwise, you cannot be able to quit the habit that you want to
Mm-hmm.
quit, right? So this book really helped me quit smoking, and I recommend everyone reading it because it's a really good book to read.
Very nice. Yeah. Habits are something that it's very difficult to manage, mainly because uh, something with that psychological takes lots of setup time in order to
Yep.
be able to achieve what you're looking for. And it's that kind of neurological reprogramming that's very difficult. So it takes a lot of endurance and stamina to try to be able to put yourself through something in order to eventually develop the habit that you want. So this is,
Yes.
not only is that book is a very good book, but also like the to put in effect what you have learned from that book and being able to achieve your goal of being able to quit smoking, that's fantastic. Good job.
Yes, and the book is divided into four steps, and I only read two steps, but this was enough for me to quit smoking. But
Nice.
I'm gonna finish reading it because, like I don't know if you know it, but I'm a big fan of reading, and even my English journey started from there, my love for reading. So I'm gonna read it, and yeah, and I also recommend everyone this book. People who are like struggling to quit a bad habit,
Yep.
especially because if you don't have a purpose for something or a goal for something, it's gonna be a little bit difficult to take interest in it. But if you have a goal, it's makes things much more easier. So if you are a fan of reading, then it's good to read this book.
That is awesome. Very nice. Thank you. If you can type the title of your book into the chat, and but overall, good job.
Yeah.
Yes, can I say a little bit something about the Conde? Because I forgot to say also, I have been, I'm still reading that book, but even though not finished yet, because I got that ebook from James Green, Atomic Habits that she shared a few months ago. Yeah, and that was kind of a good book actually, how to, let's say, to do something, or even like a Mohamed Conde want to quit from smoking. It's kind of a, how to say, the advice to do something or to not do something like that. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'm still reading about that book. Thank you, Conde. Thank you, Tan.
Yeah, thank you. Very cool.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yep, thank you. So, all right. So overall, nice job, Mohammed. And yeah, so I guess the last person is me. So me, I'm going to talk about the most recent book that I read, which is The Case of the Flying Corpse by James Michael Walker. What this book is about is, imagine a Sherlock Holmes story. And this is basically what that book is, because it talks about a famous American actor named William Gillette, who is the famed actor of all of the Sherlock Holmes plays or Sherlock Holmes theater shows back in like the kind of like this would have been like around early 1900s, maybe at the end of 1800s, because all the Sherlock Holmes story was around like what 1870 whatever's, right? And or I forget. Well, it's around that time period, stretching into like the 1900s. So at that time, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle allowed for plays to be performed on stage. And of all the actors, William Gillette is the most famous for playing the role of Sherlock Holmes. So this story is about William Gillette. He was in the process of building his castle in East Haddam, Connecticut. Basically, it's about maybe 45 minutes to an hour drive from where I live. And actually, I've went to this castle. It's massive. So the picture on this book is what his castle looks like. And I have not gotten a chance to go inside, but just looking at the outside of it, it was marvelous. Like all made of stone like that. It was just incredible how the size of this castle. So just imagine the kind of money that he had to build his own castle in a sense the 1900s. That's amazing. But nonetheless, so this tells a story of him in the process of building his castle. And during that time, a crime had occurred. And he basically takes up the mantle to be, in a sense, like Sherlock Holmes. And with his good friend Charles Frawman, to be like his, Dr. Watson. The two of them go and try to solve the crime in a Sherlock Holmes fashion. Just imagine that. So the level of details that William Gillette was able to discern just from observing everybody and looking at all the clues of the crime, just no less different than Sherlock Holmes, was amazing. I am almost done with this book. Basically, I got to the part where like we found out who the criminal is. So I'm not going to spoil the story for that, but basically I got to the part where he finally caught the criminal and the story is about to end. So that's the part that I have not read yet. The finishing touch basically. But all of the level of details that he was able to go through, with a twist of all the obstacles that he had to go through, because the policemen of the town basically would not want William Gillette to be a participant in solving the crime. It's kind of like how initially for Sherlock Holmes in his first story, Scotland Yard did not want Sherlock Holmes to be a participant. They kept on shooing him away. But when they saw how well Sherlock Holmes solved the crime to the very littlest detail, and be able to catch the criminal, they eventually warmed up to him. So it's kind of like, just imagine like the beginning of a Sherlock Holmes story where even Sherlock Holmes himself had issues with the law enforcement and how law enforcement would not let him do anything. But eventually he was still able to solve the crime. So what happened in this story more particularly is that there was a dead body on the property of William Gillette, and the crime was the murder of this person. But at the same time, there was a second crime that had happened earlier where there's these plates to make a particular currency of money was stolen. And because of that, who knows where those plates are, and who knows if they're being used to make counterfeit money. So with these two cases intertwined, Mr. William Gillette goes and solves and saves the day. So that's basically what the story is about. So for those, if you can see this now, right? I do have a particular interest in mystery, and even more specifically, detective type of genre. I like the whole thinking aspect of things. In general, I do like books where I do quite a bit of thinking. So it could be literature books that have lots of themes and imagery, metaphors and all the like, right? For me to kind of like see the underlying type of expressions that may be involved, right? Or it could be a nonfiction that delves into how to do something or to have betterment in my life, and all the thoughts that may be involved with that. So like those are the kind of books that I particularly like. But especially more for entertainment purposes, I like the mystery/slash detective genre. And yeah, that's my book report. So okay, with all that we've talked about, does anybody have any particular questions or any thoughts about anybody's book that we've mentioned?
So relating to your book, relating to Sherlock Holmes, that the count, the tower in the first page, the cover book.
Yeah.
This is the real, right? The real.
Yes.
So you also go there and go inside.
Yes.
Just also in Connecticut.
Yes, because he built his castle in Connecticut in East Haddam.
Oh, see.
So it's like I said, it's like a 45-minute to an hour drive away from where I live.
Oh, 45?
45 minutes to an hour, yes.
Oh, see. You want to take picture? Or see?
Or I don't know how close I can get. Let's see. Let me try to do it this way where, nope, not that. Blur. Okay. I don't know how clear this is, but there you go.
See, there. See. I see.
See?
See. Thank you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, this is kind of like if you looked at this book right here, it's kind of like looking at the book like this. It was like kind of like almost like this angle.
Yeah. See. Thank you.
Yeah. Around his so basically for the around that area of that castle, there's like it's really up on top of a hill and it going downhill, like down, not a hill, but almost like a mountain like hill, right? Because it's very steep. Like so as you go down, you can get to the river. So it's a nice hike going up and down the hill.
But how about the transportation to go there to the hill? You
can
you
walk.
walk? You have to walk. So even how long did you get walk from the
Here,
from bottom to the hill?
I'll do you one. Okay. Sorry for this. The way. Okay, share my screen. I share this. Okay, so this is basically at the.
Oh,
All right, let's move this around, right? So, and this is sped up, right?
a little narrow, right? A little narrow.
Well,
Just
it's the
not
walk.
people.
No, it's a walkway. Like just keep on watching. And this is like at like what 8 times speed.
Look like forest.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. And there you go.
Oh, see. Wow.
So, like I said, it's like about 8 times 16 or like about 8 times speed. So, uh, if I, or maybe even more than that, right? Maybe 16 or 32, I forget. But like basically take that. So this was like done in like 36 seconds, right? So times like 8 or 16 times more. That's oh yeah, so 8 times speed, okay? So like, so take this times 8 times, and that's about maybe 4 minutes if I was to go really fast enough to go up the hill.
See.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you so
it's
much.
not that long of a hike, but it's long enough that like, um, it does take a little bit of time to go up. Hi, Kazuko, welcome to the call.
Hi, I'm sorry for being late, but
No
hello.
worries.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Today's topic is reading. So what we're doing is kind of like a book report in front of the class. So what it is,
Yes.
yep.
So I sent you a messenger because before this lesson, I attended the electric engineer visit my house and fixing something. That's why I was late. And before that, I sent Tan's the Facebook Messenger
Okay.
my summary, a PDF by PDF.
Okay.
Would you open or not?
Sure. I mean, overall, today's topic is more about you speaking to it. So, so it looks like you have content that you can speak to. That's awesome.
Yes, I joined Victoria class and we study according to the book. The
Yep.
name is Like Water for Chocolate. It's from Mexican traditional book, maybe. And so Mama Elena is very strict woman, and there is traditional thinking at that time. And Mama Elena has 3 daughters, and Gertrudis and Rosauna and Tita. And the main character is Tita. Could you understand?
Sure, like you're just spelling out all the characters in the book. Although I can only catch the two so far. It's Mama Ellen and Tita.
Yes, Tita is main character.
It's the main character. Cool.
Yes, and she wanted to get married with Pedro. Pedro is he really loved Tita, but Mama Elena couldn't approve their marriage because there is traditional thinking. The oldest daughter must get married, and Tita is youngest daughter, and the youngest daughter must help Mama Elena. It's a tradition.
Yeah.
And this, I think this theme is power of love and passion. And second, the clash of family tradition and individual freedom. And third, expressing emotion through cooking. Because Tita, she is good at cooking, and she can express her emotion through cooking. And fourth, female independence. And my summary, the protagonist, it's okay. Please help me the pronunciation. Protagonist.
Sounds like protagonist?
Yes.
Okay.
Protagonist Tita is bound by family tradition. The youngest daughter must not marry and must care for her mother until her death. She deeply loves a young man named Pedro, but tradition prevents them from marrying. Tita possesses a remarkable culinary talent, and the story culinary talent, and the story is enriched by magical realism, where her emotions are infused into her cooking, influencing those who eat it. A dish Tita makes with sadness, those who eat it are moved to tears. And a dish made with love, passion spreads to those around her. Cooking is Tita's only freedom and a means of expressing her inner turmoil. I believe that in a present life, there are times when a great war called fate stands in our way. Perhaps the lessons of life are learned by how one overcomes it. I feel that we never know what will happen in our life until our die. And this story, this ending seemed to symbolize the liberation of love and liberation from tradition, and woman's freedom and self-determination. The power of passion. The narrator in the book was a woman of the next generation who inherited the protagonist, the main character's Tita's recipe. She is the daughter of the second sister. It means Tita's second sister. Eldest sister. And she, the sister, and Tita's niece.
Yes.
Okay. Tita's niece overcome her recipe, all of that. The story ends with her recounting how Tita's way of life gave the niece her daughter's freedom.
Very interesting.
Yes, yes.
I find this kind of traditional way of living kind of interesting, mainly because this is where I get a little bit confused of, is it the kind of tradition where the eldest must marry first and then the next and then the next and then the next afterwards? Like, you know, do you have to do it in that kind of chronological order? Or is it the type of situation where the eldest is the only one out of everybody that can get married, and that all of the younger sisters can never get married? So that was kind of like the first thing that's in my mind, because I'm like, how do I make how to make sense of that? Either tradition could make sense in the time frame that it comes from, but I don't think I think it's really difficult to have a tradition where, you know, only the first daughter can get married and everybody else cannot. Um, I'm not really sure if that was the case here. Would you know?
So what about in Vietnam or America?
Well, because like it's different, right? Because when you talk about traditions like that in other places in the world, it it's not even the country. It's just the community in which you live in, which is even
Yes.
smaller, right? Or it might not even not be a community. It could just be specifically just your family that lives that way, and everybody else lives a different way. So this is where I am confused, because I don't know in this story whether the tradition is where the daughters have to marry in chronological order, or that only the oldest daughter can get married and everybody else must die a virgin, in a sense.
So I couldn't I couldn't believe this those kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's very strictly, and I think it's difficult to ignore because it's a traditional custom.
Yeah.
That's right. But maybe there is some reason because they think or they believe those kind of tradition. The reason why maybe youngest one is
Oh,
free,
yeah.
maybe.
Well, what I mean by this is I don't know what the story is telling. I don't know which tradition is being told in this story. Yeah, that's just basically my question. I'm not questioning whether that tradition is right or wrong, but to me, I don't know what I don't know which exact tradition they're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the main tradition was the youngest children,
Yep.
they must take care of their parents.
Oh, okay. I think that makes sense now.
Mhm.
Okay, so that means, like, let's say you have like four daughters. That means the
Yeah.
first three can get
Mhm.
married, but the last
Yes.
one can never get married.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what they're talking about. That's rough.
Nice.
That's rough. Oh, okay, that makes more sense now. Okay, cool. So
Sorry.
this is why the the second daughter of Mama Elena was allowed to get married and then have a girl. So the niece. Um, and this is basically the niece telling the story. Okay, this
Yes.
is very interesting. Cool.
Yeah, there
Okay.
is a movie, but you are busy, that's why you can't watch the movie. But maybe it's interesting, maybe.
Yeah, that's cool though.
Can you type the name of that book?
Yes, this book, the name is Like Water for Chocolate.
Yeah.
Could you understand? I write in the chat box.
Yep.
Okay.
Can I ask one thing about the story that Kazuko said?
Yes.
I have read that this was kind of a traditional custom from one tribe or one traditional from Japan, if I'm not wrong. But can you tell us about what traditional is? Because I haven't read that like Tan said, the youngest daughter cannot be married because of the reason because she has to take care of their parents, right? Is that the story?
That's the
Yes.
That's the tradition.
Yeah. So what tradition is that? I mean, is it Japanese tradition or things like that?
The story from Mexican.
Oh, it's not Japan tradition,
Yes.
no?
Yes.
Mexico. Oh.
Yes. So if you have free time tomorrow, tomorrow it will open Victoria's meeting. You can join.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the point is thank you for letting me know because I haven't read that or I haven't heard that about the should not be married for the youngest daughter or the youngest children. Yeah, I think that's why. But I know in my country about the tradition, all the children can get married. But yes, most of the tradition said that for the youngest children, whether they are man or female, they should be stay at home to take care of their parents until their parents gone or pass away, something like that. They don't go or far away, even they are getting married, but they should stay at home with their parents. That's the tradition that I know, a part of tradition in my country. But all of the children can get married actually. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. I find that kind of tradition kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Because like if that's the case, right? So let's say like, they're able to get married, but this youngest still have to stay with the parents. So let's say you have two families and each has a single child, one boy and one girl, and those single child grew up and got married to each other. Who stays with who?
It's difficult. Normally in
Right?
Japan, so woman change her family name.
Yeah, because like that's why I found something like that more interesting, right? It's like,
Yes,
and
yes.
like, like, because in some cultures, like the woman or the bride must go with the husband, but then in other cultures, it's like, well, like that's my only daughter, she has to stay with me. So that's kind of a clash.
Yeah. You are lucky because you are a man.
Let's just say I still live by a different tradition, but lucky or not, like it's not about whether you know I'm born under a particular tradition, but it's more that like um, do I understand it?
So
And
can I ask you? Can I ask you?
yeah,
So, are you eldest in your family? The
I am the
eldest
eldest. Yeah,
child? Oh,
yeah.
really? And what about your? I'm sorry. This is a little bit maybe rude,
Yeah.
but if I can ask you, what do you treat your graveyard?
What do I
Graveyard?
graveyard?
Because so in Japan, each family has graveyard normally, and they take over another generation,
Yeah,
another
that's difficult
next
because
generation.
yeah, that's difficult because instead of the
Mm,
if if I if my parents never
mhm,
emigrated to the United States and somehow met each other in Vietnam and got married and had me,
mhm,
then sure we may have a family graveyard. But being over here, there's there's a graveyard where we put most of our family members, but I don't consider that as like the family graveyard
mhm,
since it has the, the graves of other people too. Many people that's from
mhm,
town or
mhm,
maybe even outside of town that they just wanted to just be buried in my town. Um, so that's not necessarily a tradition that we would follow more specifically. At best, though, we would have our loved ones that have passed away on our altar, and we would then at least, pray to them every so often, especially on their death anniversary.
mm. So you live in America now, but after you passed away, in the altar moved to Vietnam or like that?
No, like we'll
No?
have our own little altar inside our house.
Ah,
Yeah.
really?
Yes,
Mm.
because like it's difficult to try to send anything over there. It's
Yes,
too far
yes.
away. It doesn't
Mhm.
it doesn't make logistical sense.
I'm sorry, it's my curious. It
Yeah.
was. I'm sorry. Mm.
So this is kind of part of like the immigration process because this is where like the breaking of tradition comes into play because
Mm.
you can't just strictly live off of a particular tradition in order to survive in a new environment, right? Think about like how Darwinism works out, survival of the fittest, where you adapt to your environment in order to survive. So you can't just use a particular way of living, regardless of the environment. You need to take account of the environment in which you live in. So growing up here and living here, have to adapt to a lot of things, and but at the same time, still trying to balance Vietnamese culture, or as much of it as possible. Um, Obviously, there's not a lot that I am able to retain, but at least I know enough to try to understand what. Okay, so for overall with today's topic was about reading, and yeah, everybody had put in their good 2 cents overall. So great job, everybody. If this was more of your cup of tea, cool. I'm gonna try to come up with the next topic after this for the next meeting. Hopefully, I may be able to do it next week, but we shall see. I have content from my previous meeting with Choose Your Own Adventure. I finally found time to finish putting together one of the two videos, so I'll have that posted at some point. And then later on, I'll have the second video. The Choose Your Own Adventure meeting that we had about maybe this is almost 3 weeks ago, was where we had a short story, or not necessarily a short story, but we had a story or a book where we would read it. And at the bottom of the book, there's choices you can make. So if you choose this choice, go to page 2. If you choose this choice, go to page 3, right? So these are the kind of readings where like you don't read it from page 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. You don't read them in order. You read it in accordance to what the bottom of the page gives you as options. And then you choose your adventure. You choose which options you want to take. So the outcome of the story would vary. So maybe in one part of the story you have or one kind of outcome would be a happy ending versus a different outcome could be a sad ending. You never know. It's up to your choice. So it was a pretty interesting read for like 2 stories that we've done. And I'll post those videos in a little bit. But overall, today is a pretty decent meeting for all those that have joined. So thank you very much. And yeah, if anything, hopefully we'll see each other soon. So take care, have a good day, have a good evening, afternoon, and night. So bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye.
Bye,
Thank you,
everyone.
Jen. Thank you, everyone. See you.
Everyone, see you.
Yep.
Bye.
And then click. Sorry, Adrian, we had to cut it short just because it was the end of the meeting, Adrian. But at least you're giving it a try, and I commend you for trying to join. But in any case, I gotta end the meeting. So take care, everybody. Bye.
Thank you.
Words collide like fiddles hum, every accent's welcome some. Round the table, dreams are shared, across the world and love is aired. At the International English Cafe, talk your troubles right away, sip your tea, let stories play. At the International English Cafe, we don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy quarter lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave, stories told when you believe. At the International English Cafe, words align like fiddles hum. At the International English Cafe, words collide like fiddles hum, every accent's welcome some. Round a table, dreams are shared, across the world and love is aired. Our love is aired, across the world and love is aired. Across the world and love is aired. English Cafe, we don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy quarter lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. Here's your face, we find the way, in a little cafe day after day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork little cafe day. Hey, accent charts might trace the globe. We don't need no passport stamp, just a cozy corner lamp. Face to face we find the way, in a little cafe day after day. Maps and charts might trace the globe, but here we spin our own wardrobe. But here we spin our own wardrobe. Patchwork lives with thread we weave, stories told when you believe.
Can I say something before awareness, because awareness is silent?
Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, thank you so much for bringing this topic about the reading. But for me, I think how to make us, really like to read, that's the point. Because from my observing, it's not easy to make us kind of reading fans. That means really like to read. Just for my example, due to my experience, at first I want to read many books because my son already gave me some books to be read, because he knows that I'm still learning English, still improving English. But the point is, after after read 5 or 6 pages, and then it can make me like bored, something like that, or even sleepy. So my asking is how to avoid this situation. Is that about the book, or is that about my my effort to read it? So can you give me such kind of advice or things suggest to make us really like to read, no matter what the book is? I think if we make it like a habit, and then whatever the book, we want to read it. That's my asking. That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. I think it's difficult if it's no matter what book, because as people, we all have our interests. We all have our likes and dislikes. So you may be more preferential towards one type of subject and or topic over another. So especially when it comes to a book, there may be a particular genre or a particular type of story, or maybe even if it's nonfiction, that's fine too, right? There may be a particular type of writing, or maybe even writing style, that you may prefer to read. The tough part will be trying to find that. So, but once you do find that, it makes reading a lot more easier because it's something of your interest. So I would suggest what you would try to do is think about things that you're interested in, and especially things that you may be interested in reading about, and then start reading that. At least in terms of like finding a topic. Now, it may take you a while because certain writers may write in a way that you may like, versus other writers, even if the topic you may like it might be the writer that you dislike because they wrote in such a way that it may just make you hate reading, right? So this is one of those difficult things. It's the same thing as like if you wanted to try to meet a new friend, and let's say you're very picky, right? So it's not like you can just make friends with just anybody. You're going to be very picky and choosy with who you want to be friends with. So obviously it's not the case for everything, but sometimes that's what it is for a book, right? You may just be picky and choosy for what you want to read. And if it's difficult for you to find something to read, I would say start off with something short. So like short stories, news, newspaper, magazine articles, or other journal articles out there. Could be like gossip columns, could be scientific journals, medical journals, things of that nature, anything, right? You can start with something that isn't so long and go on from there. But otherwise, like, to be given books, it's kind of hard because sometimes it's like, is that really what you wanted? And or maybe it's something you could learn to read at some later point, but to use those books as starters may make things difficult to, get into reading. I would suggest finding something that you would take interest in first. But yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Thanh.